dan itu tiada
Your lady 互相无忧嘛爸爸啊
用耳朵旅行，
风音乐，
带你疯狂听音乐。
嘿呦海洋嘿耶呦海洋嘿呦。
这里是Alian 96.3风音乐，我是陈永龙。
大家晚安，我是熊儒贤。
我们风音乐节目呢，是每个礼拜六、礼拜天晚上11点到12点，在 FM96.3跟大家一起听音乐、说故事。
对，我们在上一集节目里面邀请了一个很好的朋友，就是雪梨的 The Concourse 艺术中心的总监 Greg。那么我们在2017年野火乐集到了雪梨演出。那么我实在对 The Concourse 这个剧院有很大的好奇心，因为它仅次于雪梨歌剧院。
对，
那我们今天还有一个好朋友是 Jeremy 是担任 Greg 的翻译，让我们今天一起再继续聊一下有关于 Greg 这次在台湾
的不一样的经验分享，
听到的歌，遇到的人。
对，
那么美好的经验需要听一下 Greg 的这次的台湾行。
Okay, we would like you to share us more about your experience of this trip visiting Taiwan, and what are the most interesting people or most interesting things that you've been experienced during this trip?
It's been quite brief, but my longest stay has been in Taidong, which I really loved and enjoyed very much being there. It's both a vibrant and relaxing place to be.
那这次呢，他们的各地的访问都非常的短暂，但是停留最长的时间就是在台东。但是他觉得台东带给他最大的、最好的那个音乐，因为他的经验，因为他觉得台东就非常悠闲，非常一个特别的氛围，让他觉得非常印象深刻。
他知不知道台东其实是台湾原住民非常聚集的一个城市？
Have you been heard that Taidong is actually the most intense places where all the Aborigines indigenous music was produced?
I was aware that it had a strong indigenous background, and certainly being there and seeing the two indigenous centres that I had seen, you could tell that they had progressive and well thought out plans for these places.
他有听说过，然后而且他这一次去的时候也发现到台东非常多的这些硬体的设施，他们一直在发展就是提供给就是音乐创作者非常好的就是这些环境。
对，我们今天的节目里面也因为 Greg， 所以我们今天的所有的衬底音乐都是放有关于台东这张专辑里面的所有的音乐及歌曲。
就是对，就是
all the background music today will be all about Taidong.
Wonderful.
我想要也请 Greg 在多跟我们分享一下，就是说除了他到原住民的马兰部落去之外，他还到了台东哪些地点去
？Besides Malan tribes that you've been visited, where else in Taidong that you have been visited?
There were two. Well, for me, the park where the old railway station is was very close to where I was staying, and to me that it just felt like a wonderful cultural and recreational heart to Taidong, and I was often down there listening to music on Friday and Saturday nights, or they had things there most nights, and that whole feel of a precinct, a green precinct with various things in it, was, I thought, wonderful and very much a heart of the place.
在台东以前有一个旧火车站，但是现在已经变成一个就是一个文化园区的地方，就是铁花村这一个区。这是他这次在台东住的是算是离那个地方最近的。
对对对，
那他非常非常喜欢那个地方，包括里面的这些绿意盎然的这些设备啦，然后这些
音乐的环境，
这整个氛围跟环境，他都觉得这整个地方觉得非常非常的好。
And also, as we discussed before, when I explored in that area and discovered those little derelict terraces and discovered that there were a few artists living in them. And there was one had a workshop and a cafe, and there was a wonderful leather shop where you couldn't buy those things the way they made them in Paris or London. And that felt like a very authentic, independent, little but growing artistic community there.
他觉得那个地方很像是一个就是越来越就是壮大的一个艺术的村落的感觉，因为在那边他可以看得到有那种非常的小的咖啡馆，但是里面有非常棒的音乐这些音乐或者是表演的艺术在那边。那也有看到那种小小的店家在做非常棒的那种皮革制品，那这些东西你可能只有在巴黎或者是什么地方才可以看得到。所以呢，他觉得他整个在这边的经验呢非常非常的棒。
对，刚刚我们在 Greg 第一段跟我们讲话的时候，他会听到一个像女生的讲话的声音。其实我们现在听的这张台东专辑，我们的一个 intro 的 opening 就是一开场，我们就是让你从台东的火车站下车，这是一个月台的声音。
The background music just here you can hear some kind of from the station that make you feel virtually that you are traveling from station to from other cities arriving in Taidong by train. So you can hear the announcement from the station that make you feel virtually that you are arriving Taidong.
Yes. And I love trains, so the fact that the train station in Taidong has been kept, there's something about trains because they penetrate into places and they create bridges, and you still have the feeling that the train penetrates into the city but now has this like flower, has this precinct to it, which is really, really lovely. And there's a very gentle feel in that area.
刚刚其实在休息的时候也跟 Greg 稍微聊到就是火车对于他的这次在台湾的旅行的一个经验，因为在澳洲没有太多的就是那种火车的那经验，所以他觉得台东在台湾有这个非常棒的火车的那个系统，那包含甚至像这个旧火车站现在已经就是
新建成艺术园
区，那你可以知道这整个也改变到这边的这整个环境
人文发展，
对，他觉得这是一个很特别的经验。
台东的小孩就是陈永龙嘛，
对 ，Jeremy 也是啊。
哦，你也是
同学
哦。
We're classmates。
那你们两个要不要聊一聊你们的成长中的台东？
我们的成长的台东啊，其实好，我有的时候觉得现在的台东跟以前的台东似乎没什么太大的变化，对。当然就是所谓的人文发展跟艺术发展它越来越蓬勃发展这样子，但是像我自己回去台东的一种生活步调感，对，是跟城市步调感是有很大的差距的。那我喜欢去走台东的海岸公路，对，右边是太平洋，左边是海岸山脉，这种感觉就到现在的感觉都没有什么太大的变化。
那 Jeremy 呢？
常说仁者要山，智者要水，但我觉得台湾在台东就是这两个你都可以兼得就对了。
所以对 Greg 来说，这次台湾行里面他的记忆他最喜欢的就是台东的步调。
So during this trip, does Taidong give you the most impressions about everything?
Yes, and also because I was there longer and I knew people there, which places are people as well.
因为刚好这次 Greg 在台湾待的最长时间在台东，那也是因为在台东的关系会遇到更多不一样的人。那其实每一个地方能够让你有印象深刻，绝对是人。
对。
But I would also say the two Indigenous centres that I went to, the one that is the hotel where people can stay, I thought was really fantastic, and a genuine celebration of Indigenous culture, and the fact that the Indigenous people and an Indigenous non-profit group was running the restaurant and the hotel gave it, again, very authentic and fantastic place to be in.
那这次他在台东有2个他觉得非常印象深刻的地方，都跟原住民有息息相关的很好的串联。第一个就是台东的玛塔家屋，对不对？
玛塔对，是一个原住民会馆改建的一个饭店。
对，那现在是饭店，然后同时也是餐厅。但是最重要的是，这些自由就是一些非营利组织，是还有原住民自己所一起新建的这样子的一个地方，然后可以把就是代课指导跟就是跟文化能够做一个很棒的结合，他是觉得这是非常非常了不起的一件事情。
And the other was the cultural park, which was the old bus terminal. And the facilities there are terrific, but having residential capacity for artists to live there will really make it, I think, a hub and a community and a family, because really with artists they need space to feel safe, comfortable and share ideas, not just go in and do their work.
那另外还有一个地方是现在应该还在就是成立当中的，在那个铁花路的底那个地方，以前是一个巴士的营运站，但是现在已经变成是一个之前变成一个荒废的地方，但是呢那边现在已经就是变成是一个原住民的文
创园区。对，
那边其实有提供一些硬体很好的硬体的设施，让他们就很多原住民不管是音乐或艺术上的创作之外，他觉得Greg 觉得更重要的是他那边有住的地方，可以让这些艺术创作者驻村艺术家。那所以他觉得能够在那个地方的话，让生活跟艺术是在一起的，这个会有非常好的那个一个火花出来。
And for me, there's really nothing like that in Australia, like those two models. And the one that really fascinated me was the hotel, because that is a commercial activity, but it's really a social enterprise. And I think that is a really successful model where cultural aims and social aims are completely at the front of what that operation and building does, but it is robust. It's commercially robust as well. And I think we need to move more to those sorts of models. And there's a lot of social enterprises happening, but you had been doing that in Taidong for years. And that really is a proper social enterprise model.
那 Greg 刚刚特别强调，这2种的商业模式在澳洲是不可能，就是没有看过的。
真的吗？
对，所以他觉得，尤其是那个就是原住民家屋玛塔这个地方呢，他更觉得这是一个非常就是惊艳的地方，因为呢这里是不只是结合就是最商业的地方，因为大家的观光客一定需要有住有吃的地方，但同时又能够跟就是社会就是这些社会资源就是结合，然后能够让需要的人，然后还有这些文化上的东西，在这个地方能够有一个舞台来去分享，所以这个结合，他觉得是一个非常非常棒的，我觉得非常难能可贵的一个很棒的经营模式。
对，我觉得刚刚我们也是跟永龙听到 Greg 在讲，就是好像 The Concourse 刚开始也是从一个我们上一集讲到了，就是所谓的边缘艺术节。
对，
那么我们是不是可以请 Greg 聊一聊有关于 The Concourse 他们这个团队，就是这个艺术的策展团队，如何也是从一个小聚落长大到现在他们在雪梨是第2大的艺术中心，仅次于雪梨歌剧院。
all the art center are growing from small organization to a bigger one. So it's like how Taidong everywhere is doing. Would you like to share a little bit about the background and how Concourse was growing from the very beginning, from a very small unit to such a organization?
Of course, there were key elements to the Concourse that preceded the history. I mean, one, that council already had a lot of involvement with performing arts. It ran its own orchestra. It supported a major music theatre company. So its culture was already directly involved with the performing arts. That's one.
第一个他觉得非常重要的一个因素呢，其实在当地的议会已经对于就是艺术表演的他们已经有深刻的需求跟非常重要的发展。那所以呢所以有这样子的议会来帮忙呢，对就是这些会非常的得心应手，
是找到了一个最大的助力。
对
，The second was the mayor was himself a musician, and in that council, the mayor is a popularly elected position by the people, and he'd been elected and been mayor for 17 years, which means he had the ability to have this vision and keep it going until it was finally realised. And he surrounded himself with managers who were entrepreneurial and visionary, prepared to take risk.
那而且另外一个非常重要的因素是因为现在的市长他以前也是一个表演艺术者，
这个真的好重要，我们真的好希望我们
后面就不
台湾每个城市的是 mayor equal musician or artist.
Very unusual.
对，他说因为
我们以后都选歌手或是创作者来做市长好了，
但也需要有很充足的行政能力，然后去当
对，就是因为他有这些行政资源，还有这么多的环境，而且呢，因为他已经在任17年了，所以他可以有非常好的远见，他知道要怎么发展到什么地方，能够串联什么样的资源过来，这也是就是 Concourse 能够非常成功的一个很重要的推手。
And in a way, our organisation, Century, was similar to the mayor and the general manager, Pat Riley and Nick Tobin, who were entrepreneurial and risk-taking. And as I said earlier, the model of management for the Concourse is very rare in Australia.
那其实他们在一刚开始的成立初期呢，他们其实也是冒了很大的风险，
一定的，
对，因为这样
我都已经一直在冒险了。
对，那因为一刚开始呢，他们没有在澳洲从来没有过这样子的经营模式，
是，
所以他们等于是对大家来讲都是一种冒险。
就是我觉得做艺术的行政工作，通常幕后的团队真的每天都在走钢索。
Elaine was convinced about this because for all the administrations for any music festivals or the organization like this, every day is like walking on the wires, like you are taking the risk and taking
yes, and I think venue operators, there are a couple of things that are important to me. I think a venue operator or an arts bureaucracy, their greatest challenge, certainly of a venue operator, is not to turn into a property manager. They are there to create the environment in which an artistic vision is going to flourish, and they can't forget that.
那他们觉得最困难的地方呢，是这些就是场地的那个经营者，他们不是只有提供一个场地而已，
对，
他们其实是给这些表演者一个非常舒服的，还有给观众一个非常棒的就是欣赏的环境。他们他们不是只有像是不动产商就是只把一个房子盖起来而已，
对，
那也是有这些场地的经营者才能够让这整个艺文空间能够发光发亮。
对，所以我觉得 Greg。当然我们是已经认识的朋友，我觉得他很棒的是他在看一个艺术中心的时候，他不是在看硬体，而是他会更多去了解你的节目内容跟你的中心信仰。
It's very nice to get to know you, Grace. That when you see the art center, it's not only to see the building itself, but you know how to operate and what kind of performance was really interacting with local people. This is what different from the other people.
Yes, because I think art centers are like this cup. They're a facility, but it's what's inside the cup. And what's inside the cup is always changing depending what you want to drink and who is creating what goes in there.
Greg 刚刚随信手拈来的一个那个解释，他觉得艺术中心就像这个杯子一样。那其实杯子它本身就是一个杯子，但是你里面的是什么饮料，或者你想要喝什么饮料，这个才是最重要的。
对，我要分享一件事情，我突然想到就是去年野火乐集在雪梨的 Concourse 演出的时候，我们昨天那一集讲到了我们观众跟表演者都在舞台上。
对，
其实我觉得我们昨天只讲到一点点，就是上一集讲到一点点。其实他更厉害的是，你知道 Greg 让我们在舞台上放小米酒，
对，
我们在现场调小米酒，然后每个观众进来的时候是有一个区域，就是你可以尽情的在那边喝小米酒。我觉得这是台湾的任何剧院不可能做到的事情。
Alian just want to share also that during her the Wildflowers performance last year in Sydney in the Concourse, even she was so surprised that you allowed all the performers to make the rice wines on the stage, that which is totally impossible in Taiwan
to have during the performance.
Yes.
Yes. I think it's important, and it's part of what you do. And I think because this is a different thing, but the Western tradition of having cabaret, where people were at tables and chairs and you could have something to eat and drink, is something that in Australia needs to be brought back. It still exists in Europe and elsewhere, where drinking and eating is part of a performance, particularly given that we were all on stage on a flat floor and with tables and chairs. This type of performance is a celebration. So in a way, it's one of the reasons why I didn't want to have it in the theatre and suggested to Wildfire on stage, because having it in the theatre is like being in a classroom, like being in a lecture hall. And this type of performance is more fluid, it's more celebratory.
Greg 他认为其实表演其实跟生活是在一起，他们把就是最生活的方式就是带到舞台上来，让观众跟就是表演者之间的，这是最重要的。那其实对于吃东西这件事情来讲的话，像现在的欧洲还有很多卡巴莱，就是那种就是晚餐的那种歌舞秀，就是你一边吃饭一边看表演的，像在法国巴黎很多这样子的表演。他认为这本来就是表演艺术的一个部分。那但是这样子的形态在澳洲还没有出现过。那等于这一次的野火的演出已经有一点点像这样子的感觉，带到舞台上来，让大家会有这样子就是这样子的生活上面的互动。
我想在节目里面我可以呼吁一下我们的这个相关的艺术中心哦。其实我带了很多次在欧洲的一些比较就是知名度很高的剧院，其实中场休息都有提供酒。然后那在雪梨这一次，我觉得更夸张的是 Greg 真的是在打破传统，他把酒这件事情带到舞台上，然后 join 给所有的 musician 跟 audience， 就是观众跟表演者哦。那我觉得他是真正实践在把音乐放在生活里面，然后在生活里面也创造音乐跟五感之间的，就是感官上面的很亲密的关系。
Elaine says that you are doing a perfect job to combine the five senses of to the performance arts, or to make the life the ordinary life into the performance. It's like a great combination. And let's say for some theaters in European that Elaine has been bring the wildfire to, even during the break time, some alcohol or wines were provided. But in Concourse experience, not even during the break time, but it's like on the stage, yes, that people enjoy the life.
Yeah, and I really think that there is, in the sector of what we call cabaret, which involves food and drink, that something quite special happens in those performances. And even if you look at some of the great popular Western artists like Marlene Dietrich or Frank Sinatra or Shirley Bassey, they all performed in that cabaret environment, which was very different from being in a straight theatre. It's a very different experience.
那Greg 特别强调，就是其实像在那欧洲这种卡巴莱的这种，那就是晚餐秀嘛，我不知道应该要怎么翻译，
就有点像 dinner show， 对不对？
轻歌剧嘛，就是
对，就像我们大对，就这种的卡巴雷 cabaret 这样子的那个秀的话，其实很多很棒的欧洲的音乐就是表演者都是从这样子的那个舞台而脱颖而出。对，那这些本来就是可以就是在应用在各个表演场地上面这样的模式。
我觉得很棒啊，就是让我因为我自己从来没有感受过观众可以上台这件事情，所以去年遇到这个事情，所以觉得有点挑战，就是哇，观众要怎么进来啊？那个门口怎么办啊？因为对我们来说，我们的舞台的后台其实都是很混乱的嘛，然后可是没有想到他们去年那个真的是一个创举，然后所有人都在台上。感觉我们不只是表演者，其实这些观众们也是这个艺术表演的一部分。
For Leo's experience, he feels so challenged. He feels so challenged before because he was thinking like, how can audience come into stage to do the performance at the same time? And let's say for most of the backstage, it always looks so messy. And also for audience, how can they come into stage to join together? For him, it was a big question mark before the performance ongoing. But when that happened, you feel like, oh, this is really something.
Because it is, it sometimes does not work. You have to make sure that the elements are there because it's far more fluid. It's not like rows of seats and a proscenium and a stage. So it's more integrated with and it's harder for the performer.
当然，那个 Greg 觉得说，这个其实不是每个场地都适合这样子做，因为其实像有些他说是有些背景，因为是很分割开来的，所以呢，在那个整个舞台上面的动线流畅度都会影响这整个的操作，所以其实也不是所有的地方都有办法可以这样。
但是我觉得，每一个世代对于一个艺术的表演者来说 ，Greg 是我见到的，就是他很能打破传统。打破一个艺术表演，它原来给观众设定的样子。
Alian was very convinced that you had been broke a lot of the stereotype of how performance art was supposed to be, but this is really
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, 很高兴听到这样子的。
所以我们刚刚聊到了 The Concourse 这样子，从一个就是有市长支持嘛。那也有就是自己从就是小聚落里面长大到一个拥有一个艺术空间，就是表演艺术的空间哦。那我觉得The Concourse 接下来想要做更多什么样子的事情呢？
It's very nice to see that the Concourse was starting from the sources until the scale now at this moment. What about in the future? Do you have any plan for Concourse in the future?
We would like to see more engagement with the Asian community generally. While the Concourse has been the fastest growing art centre in the country built in the last 40 years. So it's both from activity and breadth and audience numbers, very, very strong. But we would like to see more varied work and particularly some Asian work come through.
在整个艺术中心的那个发展来说，不管是来就是来参观的人数，或者是表演的那个场次等等，就是整个 Concourse 都是爆炸性的一直快速成长。那Greg 更期待未来有更多的那个就是亚洲的艺术呢，能够带来到澳洲，让更多人能够一起分享到亚洲艺术的特别。
对，因为我们的节目里面，其实听友上如果是从网络上听到的，我们的听众呢，有很多都是在海外，所以我们今天介绍的是澳洲雪梨，那么也叫悉尼的 The Concourse 剧院。The Concourse 剧院是在那个区叫 Chatswood。Yeah, the area is Chatswood.
Yes.
非常多的亚洲人。对，那么也是应该是在雪梨算是一个最热闹的区域了。
Because most of the audience, if they listen to the program by internet, actually this is not only from Taiwan but many overseas audience. So we are introducing the concourse from Sydney to all the audience, and if just according to what they know, the concourse is actually located in Chatswood.
It's in Chatswood, which is on the north shore of Sydney, not very far from the heart of the city. But again, because of the harbour, to many people it's a long way away, but it's not. And the population is quite wealthy and quite conservative population. So there's half the population is third generation Australian, well educated, moneyed, and the other half is Asian, mainly Hong Kong Chinese. And it's quite, in that sense, quite bicultural.
他说在那个因为雪梨是一个港口城市，那 Chatswood 这个地方呢，其实有点像是在就是比较北角的地方，也是一个一个新的一个社区。然后在那边主要的人口组成呢，一半呢都是属于澳洲已经第三代的澳洲人，然后这些都是有高知识水平，然后而且就是家境环境都不错的，
所以那是一个高消费的城市。
Is that high expensive
Yes.
那边有点。
So
另外一半呢，就是来自香港跟中国的这些移民，也都是在 Chatswood 这个区域的地方。
我们很希望就是多让听众朋友能够去了解的 Concourse。你到了澳洲，到了雪梨，它很重要的地标就是 The Concourse 这个艺术中心。
By this program, we also like to share and try to persuade more people that try to visit the Concourse, because it is getting a very significant landmark, or it's like the must go for visiting Sydney.
Thank you.
所以
我们风音乐节目呢，就是在跟 Greg 分享这么多，我们要先听一首歌来休息一下。这首歌陈永龙演唱的《大武山美丽的妈妈》。
海岸山里的歌声是那么的嘹亮，海呀唱呀用力的唱，山谷里的歌声，你是带不走的歌声，是山谷里的歌声。有一天我一定要回去，为了山谷里的大合唱，我一定会尽情地唱歌，牵着你的手。那鲁啊那咿呀那呀吼咿呀吼哎呀，海岸山里的姑娘是那么的美丽，海呀跳呀用力的跳，山里的小姑娘，你是带不走的姑娘，是山里的小姑娘。现在一定要回去，为了山谷里的大跳舞，我一定会用力的跳舞，牵着你的手。那鲁啊那咿呀那呀吼咿呀哦嗨呀。
刚你听到的是陈永龙演唱的《大武山美丽的妈妈》。今天风音乐呢，我们再次邀请Greg 到我们节目来，继续跟我们分享他对于艺术上面的，还有这次的台湾行的一些美好经验。
对 ，Greg 是澳洲雪梨 The Concourse 艺术中心的总监。那帮我们翻译的是 Jeremy， 是我们的好朋友志良。
大家好。
没有，我们继续聊，
对，
就是我们刚刚有讲到，有关于在澳洲的文化，跟从澳洲的眼光去看，台湾这些原住民的音乐，如何在一个同样都是有原住民族的一个不同的地方，那 Greg 是怎么看？就是台湾这样子的原住民音乐，以及如何在澳洲用澳洲的模式来做更好的推广。
Both Taiwan and Australia have the indigenous culture background, and from your perspective, do you have any suggestion for Taiwan music organizations like Wildfires to do more for promoting the indigenous performance?
That's very hard for me to comment on, because when I arrived in Taiwan, I soon realised that Taiwan was way ahead of Australia, and that, as we were talking about earlier, Taiwan reminded me of New Zealand, where there is a very successful bicultural society with their indigenous people. So I think the reverse is true. I think Australia has much more to learn from Taiwan.
Greg 有说，其实呢，他有跟我分享，他一提到台湾的时候，他才发现，他让他觉得，台湾的非常非常多的地方，都很像纽西兰的感觉。纽西兰的就是双文化，就是纽西兰本地人跟纽西兰毛利人的那种双文化呢，其实是做的非常是整个政府还有整个就是民间都非常的完美的结合。那其实他自己觉得很汗颜哦，他说反而对于澳洲人来说，这个部分呢。他觉得台湾是比澳洲还要进步非常多了，所以对他来说，他反而觉得他是必须要从台湾这个地方学到更多的经验。
Having said that, however, I would point to my experience in Taidong again and say that the music that was presented in the park is extremely important, because accessibility and ease are very important things, and people, unless you're really committed, don't really want to go into a theatre. But being 10 minutes walk away, I could go downstairs, and I'm just a tourist, really, and go to this performance and have a lovely time entirely on my own if I wanted to, which I did. And I think you cannot underestimate the importance that those sorts of activities and accessibility have. It cannot be underestimated.
那但是呢，他虽然是这样讲，但是他觉得台东的有一些经验对他讲也是非常的就是印象深刻哦。那尤其是在就是新的这个巴士站的这个文创中心，他觉得
这个新的巴士站叫什么名字？我是说文创中心。
他应该是怎么原住民
？2集好像都一直在用形容的，但我不知道他们有
我不太确定它的全名。对，虽然我知道位置，
我也是身为一个台东人会知道的地方。
你们俩真不应该。我们请小编查上去。
好的，
放在风音乐 FM96.3的脸书。
对，那他觉得呢，其实不要忽略不要低估了，那就是易达性的这个重要性，因为呢对于在
易达性
就是很容易抵达。
OK，
那因为呢，对他们来说，其实要去看一个表演，你必须要穿好衣服，然后到一个剧场买个票，然后你才可以达到这个表演，才可以达到这个想要看表演的地方。但是在台东，你是一个很轻松的一个态度，你只要就是在10分钟、5分钟的步行的路程，你可以很轻松就到一个这样子的文化园区里面欣赏到最棒的演出。他说，千万不要就对一个观光客来讲，千万不要低估这样子的
能量。
对，会对这边就对观光客的影响。
对，我们也很希望我们所有的听众朋友有空去台东走走。那么刚刚我们在休息的时间 Greg 有分享了有关于从亚洲文化怎么样变成世界的一个共同语言的期待。
During the break time, we were talking about how Asian arts can be as equal important as so-called major string arts. Can you share some more about this, please?
In Australia, we have a very successful festival of Asian arts called AusAsia Festival, which is in Adelaide, which is bizarre because Adelaide is the least likely place to have it because they have a very small population of Asians. But I think lessons are to be drawn from there for the rest of the country.
其实 Greg 要跟大家分享的是，在那个澳洲的阿德雷德这个地方呢，有一个
阿德雷德那个城市，
阿德雷德这个城市在就是几乎是最南边的地方，有一个湾的那个区的地方，而且在那里算是最少亚洲人的那个人口的一个城市，但是那边每年固定的亚洲音乐季呢，但是却是非常成功的吸引非常多当地人去欣赏。那这个是觉得这是让他觉得非常棒的一个模式。
那为什么呢？为什么阿德雷德会亚洲人很少，可是他办的亚洲音乐季反而是观众人口很多的？他有没有可以精确让我们知道是这个原因
？How does the festival in Adelaide become so successful, even that the least population of Asian populations?
Because their director of the Adelaide Arts Centre has a very strong focus on all of Southeast Asia. So his mind is focused on all of Southeast Asia. And he, like most things, it's an individual thing. It's like Elaine with Wildfire. He had a particular focus on Southeast Asia, and he understands the need for Australia to connect with Southeast Asia, which is why he funded the AusAsia Festival. But also, this answer goes back to your question to me about how could things be promoted more in Taiwan. I think education is very important.
其实最重要的成功的因素呢，是在于这个艺术总监，因为这个艺术总监对他来说，整个东南亚的艺术呢，是他的最主要的想要去发掘跟去推展的主力的因素哦。那所以呢，他当然致力于所有的资源呢，拿去推广这一些就是东南亚的这些艺术。那也是因为这样子，他那个非常的成功。那当然不只是有这个部分而已哦。他认为觉得最大的因素呢，其实来自于教育，教育才能够让更多的人能够知道这些文化上面的融合，而不是只有就是有那种就文化的那个优越性。
And there's another issue as well. When we go back to Chatswood, because that area is quite wealthy, and education is a great priority for people there, and the Asian parents with their children have very strong musical education focus. I have found that the level of Asian background people coming to music performances and theatre generally at Chatswood, at the Concourse, has increased. It's much higher than you would get in the average of Sydney. So I think what we're talking about, in a way, the first priority is to bring people to live performance, whether it's live music, live theatre. That is the first step. And whether that performance is Indigenous or Asian or Western, to me, to my mind, sort of doesn't matter, so long as each of those have a fair share, so to speak.
对Greg 来说，就是把人带到那个就是带到
艺术中心
来，然后去欣赏这些所有艺术呢是最重要的。那怎么让这些人进来？其实刚刚说的教育非常重要。那Concourse 所在这地方 Chat 这个社区，其实非常多的亚裔人口在这个地方，而这些比较生活富裕的亚裔人口，他们因为教育还有这些父母都让小朋友有得到非常好的音乐教育，所以呢，对他们来说呢，他们会更主动的来去参与这些艺术的活动，所以呢，会更积极的参与。他们也有发现，就是亚洲人在这个地方参与的，就是 来参观的这些听众们呢，其实一直在增加，甚至是高过于那个就是所谓的本地人。
对，我们去年在 The Concourse 演出的时候，我也有很惊讶，就是在这么富足的一个商业区，有这么好的一个表演中心，但是我觉得它跟民众没有距离。但是在台湾的话，好像一个表演厅会跟民众有点距离，然后好像也变成是一个分众的市场。
According to Alian's experience last year when the Wi-Fi was performing in the Concourse, she felt that there's no distance between the performers and the community and also the audience, and which made her so surprised. It's not like in Taiwan for many theaters or some performance venue, it looks like some kind of palace or
jail.
他说你像监狱一样。
We call in English culture bunker. Do you know the word bunker?
那个
邦卡
有点像那种
concrete block.
对，就是那种就是那个就是
囚禁室。
对对对，
囚禁室。对，有时候会觉得说，好像就是太严肃，太有一种距离感，
反而遥不可及的。
以他经营这样子的一个艺术中心的话，怎么样打破这个距离感？除了教育之外
，So apart from education, how do you break the bunker?
Well, I think that twofold. I think there's education is very powerful, and also it is initiatives like AusAsia Festival which bring the work to people under a banner that they can understand and you can market to. People from all over the country now go to Adelaide for the AusAsia Festival because they are getting work that you cannot see in the rest of the country. And that actually is a challenge for general arts festivals, that many performance venues are presenting the sort of work that traditionally arts festivals would have. So the AusAsia Festival genuinely has work that you cannot see outside of the AusAsia Festival in Australia.
那在澳洲的阿德雷的这个音乐季呢，因为它非常特别，那其实只有在这里才会有机会看得到这个地方哦。所以刚刚说要怎么打破这个就是禁忌跟藩篱那种感觉。他说其实除了教育当然是非常重要之外，其实多有像这样子成功的那个音乐季的演出，也是把就是观众带进舞台，带进到就是表演最直接的方法。
对，我觉得。
I'd like to give an example of the power of education, which is uniquely Australian. In Australia, there is more ballet performed per head of population than anywhere else in the Western world, and there's one reason for that. We used to bring out European companies, and in 1939, the great company, the Ballet Russe, got stuck in Australia because war was declared, World War II was declared. So this entire troupe of great European ballet dancers got stuck in Australia, and they chose to live here. And what did they do? Because there was not much performance, they taught. So they taught ballet, and that from the late 30s into the 40s, that actually was the reason and the kernel as to why ballet is so popular in Australia.
Greg 还要分享一个非常重要的概念哦，就是为什么教育非常的就是重要的力量？因为其实你很难想象在澳洲芭蕾舞者比那个观众还要多的这件事情。
真的吗？
对，因为他说，其实它是有一个历史渊源哦。因为在那个就是大家知道澳洲是一个移民国家，从欧洲很多地方移民过来的。但是在1930年代的时候呢，有一大票的欧洲的芭蕾舞者移民到了这地方来呢，然后原本其实是只想来讨生活干嘛而已。那但是呢，就1930年。不是发生了就是几次的那个大战嘛，对不对？这些因为卡在澳洲了，回不去欧洲了。那这些留在澳洲之后，他们没事做，也没有地方可以表演，那他们怎么办？所以就是与其找地方去表演，不如他就变成是我来教舞。所以整个30年就澳洲的30年代的40年代，这种就是所谓芭蕾舞的学校或者这样子的，整个非常的风行，所以也让澳洲整个就是影响到他们对于艺术的概念，从那个时候等于是生根发芽，一直到现在是收割的时候。是，
所以我们其实在原住民音乐，我们扎根在 台湾的这个土地上面，就是我们还是就是继续努力，因为有一天我们可能像澳洲的芭蕾一样，就是说我们慢慢长，慢慢长，就长出自己的样子。
Now, like wildfire, we are starting to plant the seed of the indigenous art, and then hopefully one day the indigenous culture will be as growing as the ballets in Australia.
Yes, and there's something else that has occurred to me. Taiwan is a nation that is developing and evolving its identity, whereas in Australia, our identity originally was with the British, and now it's much broader. But Taiwan already and always started with that mix. But underneath that mix is the indigenous Taiwanese. Because all the others are just are much less solid visitors in a way than the British were in Australia, who were there from day one for 200 years. It's different. Taiwan, in a way, a bit like Singapore, trying to find what is their identity. Yes, it's Chinese, but the Dutch were here, the Japanese were here, and underneath that is the original indigenous people, which already has a strong culture. So from there is the opportunity, I believe, to really bring the indigenous culture up as a very strong component of the new identity of Taiwan.
那其实Greg 想跟大家分享的是在澳洲，因为澳洲的自己的就是自我认同的部分，因为移民，因为就是这几代的家族的关系，所以很多人其实到最近才开始慢慢的让澳洲人自己觉得我是澳洲人，而不是英国人啊，或者是荷兰人，或者从哪边移民过来的，就是从阿嬷或者是哪一辈子移民过来的人。澳洲是到最近才比较有这样子的，
就是一个认
同，是到最近这几年来。那但是台湾不一样的是，台湾本身就是一个就是多元的一个族群的。那这些族群不管是什么时候来这个地方，不管是几百年前的荷兰人，或者是日本人，或者是中国人等等的，这在最深根蒂固的这一块呢，就是所谓的原住民的就是自古以来的都一直在这个地方，就像是土壤一样的最重要。但是大家都只看到上面的东西，而忘了这是最底层最重要的这个根基。他希望有朝一日呢，或者能够更快的呢，这个下面的根基呢，能够继续更大的往上的那个发展，让大家能够更知道这些属于在台湾的这个原住民的文化呢，是能够更多人被看见的。
对，我们今天很高兴能够邀请到 The Concourse 的总监 Greg 来分享我们他看到的台湾，或者是野火曾经去野火去雪梨表演参与过的这些我们一起共同的合作经验。那么我们非常高兴今天节目跟上一集我们都能够访问到 Greg， 那也谢谢 Jeremy，
谢谢
Greg。 The last part we'd like to teach you Taiwanese 我爱你。
我爱你，
我爱你
Yes
Yeah
That means I love you I love you 风音乐，下次见咯。
对transfer to Chinese is 我爱你，
我爱你，
我爱你 Mandarin and then 我爱你the
Taiwanese
Yeah 然后原住民语怎么讲？
Sagar Kukanu 我们的话，我很喜欢你。
That's from the
indigenous people's tribe， 对不对？再讲一次，教 Greg 讲一句原住民的话怎么讲我爱你。
Sagar Kukanu
Sagar Kukanu
Yeah, that's right.
That's I love you from Leo's tribe.
对，我们很高兴。那我们今天风音乐节目就在愉快的访问中，我们下个礼拜再见。那我们谢谢 Greg， 谢谢 Jeremy，
谢谢大家，晚安，
谢谢。
红红的太阳已经下山岗，山上的牧童在歌唱。